Hello. Aliani here with a little coverage on the developer's notes of August 2023. So, if you want to have a look at your own leisure at the developer notes, I will put a link in the description so you can just read it or have another look after listening to the video. So, without further ado, let's cover this. So, they are going to improve the union shooting rate for more convenience. So, they are basically making it so that we can try out, and they call it study, but it's basically look at their kits and see how they feel and play, which is a very welcome addition, but it will not be available in the upcoming patch. It's something that they're working to implement longer term, so maybe end of September, maybe October, we don't know yet. So this is the first improvement that they are doing to the game. They are also going to add the ability to select and listen to Nikke voices in the game through the view mode, which is a very requested feature to be able to hear specific voice lines of our favorite Nikkes and just be able to see in general how adorable they are. So that is what they're going to do. There's also some adjustments that they're going to make to the difficulty of the main campaign. There's a lot of people that are stuck in certain areas of the main campaign, and the developers have seen that, and they don't like that the game is a little bit too difficult in some places for people. They want people to progress a little bit smoother now that the game has been out for longer. So they're looking into further lowering the campaign requirements. Also, they're going to implement very soon a system that is quite useful for a lot of more inactive unions, which is the ability to take over a union if you're a member when your leader has been inactive for an extended period of time. This is a system that exists as well in MMOs such as World of Warcraft, where you can just take over so that your union or guild doesn't die off just because your leader went MIA and doesn't do anything anymore, right? They are also putting a new options to toggle with the update on September the 1st. So that is the Nier update, where you can toggle on and off the little annoying as hell zoom in when the boss appears that has made me miss so many Maxwell and Snow White shots that it's not even funny. And they're also making a toggle to switch on and off the blur for sniper rifle effects, so that you can watch your Nikkes while you're doing sniper gameplay, because you enjoy watching a little bit more your Nikkes instead of having these type of effects. They're also adding a event archive where players can re-experience uh, past events at the end of September. It's not with the September the 1st update, it's at the end of September that they're planning on implementing this. So they're saying that because each event requires to adjust the minigame entry rules and adding in the cutscenes, it will be taken step by step. But what this also means is that if they are adding the minigames and so on, it means that very likely we're going to be actually getting the full event experience. Which is also that they echo back when they're talking as well that they're going to add in No Color ID at the end of September and Overzone. No Color ID because it's the very first event, and Overzone because it's the most memorable. It was the half anniversary, epic as hell event that we got where Dorothy was introduced. Amazing event. Those who haven't played it, please go through it once they add it. It's an amazing event. So what they're saying about the mini games and everything, it just seems to imply that they're bringing back the event as an entirely replayable thing. And that is something that I look very much forward to, or at least that they're going to bring back the mini games related to those events. So, for example, White Memory, and if they are bring back, for example, Summer Part 2, they would bring back the barbecue minigame, for example. Now, the changes to special arena regrouping, there are a little bit pros and cons to this. So, they are considering the fact that changing too frequently the groups and regroup cycles makes it a little bit too inconvenient for players. So now they're making it for cycles of 3 months and longer. I feel this might be a little bit too long personally, because what this means is that yes, you remove some of the, regrouping too frequently, but at the same time, if you get stuck in a really freaking hard as nails arena, you're stuck there for 3 months. So there's pros and cons to this. However, it is a welcome change not to change so frequently, because in my case at least, the arena has gotten significantly harder every single new cycle. So it is what it is. But yes, they're also going to link the matching of the SP arena with the rookie arena, as they say in the upcoming paragraph. They're also considering how to change the regrouping. They've considered making it combat power related to make it more fair, but they feel that this might make it too competitive, and they don't want to make arena too competitive. This is something that you will hear very, very, very constantly from the developers, is that they don't want to put too much pressure on the players. They want to keep the game fun. They don't want to make this a sweaty competitive mess like some games that have PvP have become. At least that's their official stance. So for now, they're going to keep the configuration based on time of account creation, which, by the way, explains a lot of things, because I am very close to being a day one player. So this explains why I'm getting matched with people from Omni, for example. Even though we have a massive gap in power, but it's part of it, such as life. It is what it is. Now, they're going to try to keep their promises, basically. They're going to make it so that the reason why they're so slow is basically this paragraph about the developer's note being released in the director's name, is that they don't want to make false promises. So whenever they say something in the developer notes, it means that they're actually planning on doing it. It's not empty words. And if there are any delays, they will inform us. So this is a doubling down on what we put on the developer's notes will come. It's just a matter of time, but it will come. It's not an empty promise unless there's something, and they will say so in developer notes, right? Now, here is a very spicy part of the developer note, which is the countermeasures against macros and special weapons. Special weapons seems like a mistranslation. I would think that they mean third-party tools and cheat engines. So first of all, they are acknowledging the fact that there have been a lot of people wrongfully penalized, and that is a thing. I have some of you who have been watching my streams or have been following me a little bit in the Discord and what my activities that have been off stream know that I have been extensively testing how the flagging system works to try to give information to people and possibly even feedback to shift up on, you're false flagging people. Let's try to keep people safe and also shift up, please fix your shit kind of thing. Well, not really fix your shit, but it's basically in a nutshell that. So I can confirm that there are a lot of people that have been wrongfully flagged. I have been gathering quite a bit of data on that regard, off stream and off the record for a lot of these people, because they want their names to remain anonymous. But I know that the information is reliable. So this is a thing, and it is quite an issue. Having false positives is a very big issue. Imagine you're playing normally one day and then you just randomly get a 1-day ban, or even worse in some cases. Although I haven't seen worse yet within the people that have given me information, because they have contacted customer service, which is something that they do say here, is that if you have been banned, do contact customer service, wrongfully banned, and they will check into you and help you out. So if you have been wrongfully banned, do check with them. Now, they said they will do their best to make it more precise to detect unauthorized programs and ensure that false flags don't happen as much. I hope they are right, because a lot of people have been false flagged, and I have, after quite a few hours of testing, an idea of some software that has a tendency of getting false flagged for absolutely no valid reason. I will not mention it here because I still need to continue my testing, so I don't want to spread false information in that regard. But yes, there are some software that are perfectly normal that have been getting false flagged. Now, at the same time, they also acknowledge the fact that sniper rifles and rocket launchers may be an issue in their current iteration. So they mentioned that changing the rocket launchers and sniper rifles uh, might be necessary because using the manual operation, as they say, is a type of gameplay that they wanted to create when they made those two. But they also acknowledge that it's very exhausting to operate these type of weapons, especially once you add overload gear into the mix, or once you start adding, the spam clicking burst generation. So the lowering the gaming pressure is a keyword that I have been repeating a lot. At the same time, when they lowered the threshold to 3% for the top frames in solo raid, as well as when they're mentioning that they're trying to figure out how to make arena less sweaty, let's put it that way, less sweaty, is that they are acknowledging that here they want to also reduce the gaming pressure. But at the same time, they don't want to completely make it a auto brain dead situation when they say that they don't want to diminish the advantages and fun of manual play, because at the end of the day, they do want to encourage manual play or reduce the skill cap of certain Nikkes. So weakening the ability to access the solo raid rankings is kind of like a little bit of an indirect allusion to that. But they also say something that is very, very valid, which is making hasty changes will damage the game more than will damage the game more, basically. So that is something that they're saying, is that they're looking into, this is the translation of those paragraphs, right? A little bit of indirect talk and reading in between the lines. They acknowledge that sniper rifles and rocket launchers in their current state are an issue, definitely an issue, especially if you take into consideration stuff like charge speed, which, for example, Alice loves and is the most problematic character when it comes to macro usage and the like. But that if they change it too quickly, you got to remember that there are like 40 Nikkes that are rocket launchers and or sniper rifles. So making changes too quickly could adversely affect the game more than doing no changes at all. So they're saying that they're going to look into it. They're going to discuss ideas, and although it will make time, although it will take time, they will present something once they are happy with the idea that they will present the community for the rework, or to try to fix the underlying fundamental issue of the macro situation, which is the gameplay of rocket launchers and sniper rifles heavily encouraging players to use macros. I don't use macros, but I do understand that that type of gameplay kind of encourages people into using macros for many different reasons. Be it for accessibility, be it for esports, be it for just being tired spamming for multiple hours Alice sniper rifle, right? So there are many reasons, and they are acknowledging that. They're also saying that they welcome anyone to leave suggestions in the community through customer service center. So if you have ideas on how to rework this, send it to them through these channels. And the worst that could happen is your idea is not being listened to, which is just the worst that could happen is as if you had never sent anything at all. And the best that could happen is they actually listen to this community-wide feedback and fix the sniper rifle / rocket launcher situation faster, which would be a boon for the community in general. So do view it like that. Now, the last part of information in the developer's note is about the collab with Nier Automata. So now I will supplement this information with some information that is in-game as well as the Twitter. So the collab will last a full month. It will be a two-part event with a map called the Outer Automata map that we will be able to explore. We will have 3 characters, which will be, this is the voice function that they mentioned. Sorry about that. So this is the splash art for it. We will have 2B, we will have A2, and we will have Pascal. I don't know why they put Pascal, but it is what it is. We got Pascal. So 2B will be an assault rifle defender Nikke, whose abilities scale with maximum HP. So she will increase her HP, and by increasing her maximum HP, she will increase her attack by doing that. So it will be kind of a, I want to call it reverse Berserker Nikke, but it's not exactly quite like that because it's based on her maximum HP. So it's a little bit strange. It's like a tank that does more damage the more HP it has. It's kind of like, how do I put it? Titanic Hydra from League of Legends. If you play that hellhole, you know what I mean. The other Nikke that will be added that is relevant, sorry Pascal to throw you under the bus, but you're not as relevant as these two, will be A2. So A2 will be a attacker Nikke rocket launcher, and she will be a berserker style Nikke. When she enters her burst phase on mode B, which might be a weapon change, it will continuously lower her HP, which means that she has a berserker type of kit where she will lower her HP. And by lowering her HP, she probably will gain bonuses just like Guillotine or Scarlet. So she might be a welcome addition to teams that use Mast and or Scarlet and Guillotine. Both are fire-coded Nikkes. And, well, A2 is the one who gets to wield the sword, but something additional also comes with this. As you can see, we have like 2B and A2 with their usual clothing. You may notice that A2 got a little bit of a buff in the upper area. But overall, you see like 2B has her skirt and everything. Now, they will also implement free skins based on costumes that you can have in the original game. So you have the A2 with shorter hair and a little bit more skin exposed, which I believe is also in Nier Automata. With metamorphotic damage, as they call it, which it's been a long time since I last played Nier Automata, but I believe is in the game by the end of it. And you have the 2B without her skirt, which is when you basically commit seppuku by exploding yourself. You lose the skirt and you basically are left with only a leotard. Now, there will be a lot of things in this event as well. On top of these two costumes, you will have a gacha costume for 2B, which will be this one. I believe is from one of the versions of DLC or bonus stuff that you can buy. I believe it was in one of the consoles. I don't quite remember because a Switch, I think. I think it's a Switch skin. Quite the gorgeous skin, and since it will be a gacha skin, it means that it's a very, very high quality, very likely with a different burst animation entirely. It is tagged as unique level in my notes, so if it's unique level, it means that it will have unique burst animation, voice lines, and everything. And the other skin that I do not have the image for it because I have not found it published yet is the A2 Battle Pass skin. So those two will be additional 2 skins to the free ones that we are getting. There will also be a Brit skin that you can already view in the game, but it's not related directly to the Nier Collab, so I will not be showing it here. Inside of the Nier Collab, there will also be a hacking minigame, which will be very heavily based off the hacking minigame from Nier Automata, which I can show you here very quickly. So what you will expect if you have never played Nier Automata is something in this style where you will have a little shooter, which is the hacking minigame in Nier Automata. So that is something to expect. We will also have a login bonus that will last the entire month, as you can see. You will have a grand total of 15 free pulls throughout the login. You will have a gorgeous flower frame from Nier Automata. And along the way, you will have a lot of little bonuses, such as skill books, free limit breaks for a limit break for Pascal, tickets for abnormal bond because you cannot advise abnormal. If you're new to the game, you cannot advise abnormal Nikkes. You can only increase their bond through giving them tickets. Now, additionally to this, we will also have Solo Raid on September the 14th, a challenge stage, And also, Cooperation Gatekeeper will make its return. So, Co-op Gatekeeper, for those who didn't play the good old uh, Chainsaw Man collab, is something that I have made a video on in the past. I will not tell you to go and watch the video. It's an old video from when I was like barely starting content creation. But it is a boss with very, very cool visuals. And really happy to see it come back. It is quite the gorgeous boss fight, quite iconic thanks to the collab from Chainsaw Man, and very much looking forward to see him come back. After that, we with the solo raid challenge stage and co-op, we will also have a full burst weekend on the 16th of September. So all of these will happen throughout the month. So we will have solo raid, co-op, challenge, full burst, daily login, a new map, a mini game, a two-part event. These two new limited Nikkes. It's going to be a quite large event. It's going to go from the 1st of September all the way to the 28th, I believe. So it will be quite the event. So very much looking forward. I'm very excited about this. Hopefully they will release the kit soon so that I can make the hot take videos for you guys. And in the meantime, just tell me what you think about all of these new changes. Are you excited for it? Are you happy that you finally will be able to see your Nikkes without the blur, that the freaking zoom in is finally gone? Are you struggling with the campaign? Are you happy about the changes to the difficulty? Or are you excited to be able to listen to each individual voice line of your Nikkes without having to tap them or fish for those voice lines? Just tell me what in the comments below what you think about it. In the meantime, this will be it for the developers note plus all of the updates that are coming for Nikke, and I hope to see you guys around. Peace.